Welcome to Reality 33 TV. In this video, I want to discuss the 90s R&B group Silk. The members all grew up singing gospel in the church in Atlanta, Georgia, including cousins Timzo Cameron, and Jimmy Gates. While working at McDonald's, Jimmy and another cousin, Tyga Graham, met John Rasborough. Realizing they all could sing and sounded good together, they asked Tim and Albert Island, who they knew from school, to also join them. They would practice at McDonald's once the store was closed. They formed the group Silk and began performing at talent shows and churches. They met Gary Big G Glenn while performing at one of the talent shows and asked him to also join the group. They got signed by Keith Sweat's management and began working with him on music. Allen had issues in the studio with vocals and ultimately left the group. Tyga had personality issues which wore thin on the group and eventually parted ways as well. They had to search for a new lead vocalist and during auditions found Gary Little G Jenkins. Their first album, Lose Control, was released in 1992 and the lead single was titled Happy Days. Their second single, Freak Me, was the group's highest charting hit, reaching number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 for 2 weeks and U.S. Hot R&B Singles Chart for 8 weeks. The song was certified platinum and sold over 1.3 million copies. Their third single, Girl You For Me, reached number 4 on Billboard's Hot R&B charts. The album went double platinum. Silk's rise to fame was fast, and with it came women, spending money, and partying, which the group had to learn to navigate. In 1993, Silk released another single from their debut album called Lose Control, which peaked at number 4 on the Billboard charts as well. In 1994, they were nominated for 2 American Music Awards and won a Soul Train Award for Album of the Year. That same year, Keith Sweat called them back into the studio. He had written and produced most of their first album, but this time they wanted to write and produce half of their second album. The band and Keith couldn't come to an agreement and ultimately left to sign with Elektra Records under Sylvia Rhone. They executive produced their self-titled second album. The singles Don't Rush, Hooked on You, and I Can Go Deep failed to have the same success as their previous releases. The album eventually reached gold status. The group later admitted to struggling without the direction of Keith Sweat. The group also found themselves without enough money and had to file bankruptcy. They took a hiatus and while touring with a young singer named Brandy, asked her mother Sonja Norwood to manage them. They also found new producers to work with. In 1999, they released their third album, Tonight. It led to the hit single If You, which peaked at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. The second single, Meeting in My Bedroom, reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot R&B charts. The album went platinum the same year. However, tensions began to rise shortly after within the group when Little G wanted to leave and pursue a solo career. Also, their manager Sonja Norwood was not getting along with label head Sylvia Rhone. Despite the tensions, the group stayed together to release a fourth album titled Love Session. However, the 2 singles, We're Calling You and Ebony Eyes, failed to gain popularity. The group parted ways with Sonja Norwood shortly after, and Lil G left the group to record a solo album. The group continued on with 4 members, but it put them in a breach of contract with the label and they were dropped from Elektra. In 2004, they released an album independently titled Silk Time. The remaining 4 members continued to tour without Little G and he released a solo album which failed to gain any traction. In 2006, Keith Sweat reconnected with the group and all 5 members joined him on a national tour. Little G rejoined the group permanently and they continued to record and tour together. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more.